What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about 8 things I hope we get at Gamescom 2025. Now, this thing is just a few days away, getting very, very excited. I'm going to do a full-on predictions video probably tomorrow, and then we'll have videos breaking down all of the announcements, all of the trailers, any of that stuff, like Tuesday, Wednesday on this channel, okay? So, I went through a list, and I'll be honest, quite a few of these are release dates, okay? So, we're going to probably go through 6 right away that are just dates for games that I would like to see, appear, / maybe like new info. And then I got 2 extra ones for you, okay? So let's just go through. Number 1, let's start with Phantom Blade Zero. This is one that I sometimes forget, like, it could even get a date. But if you remember, the last time we saw this game, a couple weeks ago, actually, it wasn't even that long. At the end of the gameplay, they actually said, the release date will be revealed this year. So while this is a next year game, right? This is a 2026 game. I believe it's confirmed that it's going to be at Gamescom, so it's already most likely there, right? And it's like people are going to be able to play it. They already kind of did that world tour a little bit over the last year or so, letting people play it. I think it makes a ton of sense. Show it in the trailer, give the date. I feel like it's rather early. It'd be rather early, I guess, if the game was coming out next fall, which I always kind of assumed that's what it was going to happen. But at this point, and being able to give a date, like in 2 days, I really think it's possible this game is like a March, April, May. You got to watch GTA like every single game on planet Earth does, but I think this game could be like a first half of next year, whereas I originally thought it would be like second half. So that's one. We've already seen enough. If you show more, that's great, cool. The game looks phenomenal, but I'm really just looking for a date, for that game in particular. Okay, number 2. This is probably the biggest one of them all, Hollow Knight Silksong. Can we please? Now, look, here's the deal. Each one of these kind of, I think, has a little bit of a different reason why it could happen, right? So for Hollow Knight, the Xbox, the ROG Ally, right, coming out mid-October. I think it'll get like the official confirmation at Gamescom. And remember, they said at their own show a few months back that when that thing comes out, Hollow Knight they made it sound like Hollow Knight was coming out with it. Remember, then Hollow Knight or Team Cherry on Twitter talks about that they're not, they don't rely on that stuff. They are not going based off of other platforms or consoles to determine when they're going to do a release date. So it originally felt like, okay, if the Xbox thing, I think the rumor is like October 16th, somewhere around like the literal mid of October, okay? So that's like the rumor. And then, again, if you go by their own show a couple months back, you would think, oh, so Hollow Knight's that day. But then Team Cherry kind of makes it sound like it'll actually beat it. So this game, Hollow Knight, could realistically be out within the next 2 months. It needs a date. It's probably the game that needs a date beyond everything else. So I'm really hoping it's going to be there. This is one that I think would be a nice it's little, but it's also at the same time big. I think this is going to be a very popular game. If Jeff Keighley can finally deliver us a Hollow Knight Silksong release date, that would be a major win for him and for us. Okay, number 3, this one's definitely a little bit more of like a mid-tier thing, I think, for a lot of other people, but for me, it's high. Dispatch. Dispatch is a game that I'm really, really looking forward to. This one is actually quite simple. I don't have too much to say about it. It's a fall game. They released the demo. They're very active on social media. I always respond to them and ask them for a date politely, every time that they tweet out something. But I liked the demo. I think this game has a lot of potential. While we wait for literally the rest of our lives for The Wolf Among Us 2, I think this game can fill that void and honestly might be better than The Wolf Among Us 2. So I'm really excited for it. It's supposed to come out this fall. It needs a date. It's really as simple as that. Really, same thing with number 4 here, Mixtape. Mixtape is a game that's definitely been on my radar since it was shown last June at the Xbox event. I've seen people say I think it's either people's thing, like they're really into it, or it's just absolutely not for people, right? Like people are just very anti it, and that's okay. I think it looks really cool. I'm excited for the music element of that. I've talked about that a bunch on this channel. Again, rather simple along with Dispatch. I would say this, though. Dispatch, the only difference is I think Dispatch was shown at a Jeff Keighley event. He does so many of these that I forget which one it was at, but I swear it was at one of his, whereas Mixtape, Xbox event, and then was that Summer Game Fest? So that, maybe I get the events because they're all like back to back to back. Mixtape was definitely announced at the Xbox event last June, but it could have been shown just at this Summer Game Fest. I kind of forget. So it's been around. It's coming out this fall. Whether you want to have like a connection to Jeff Keighley or not, it's one of the games games that also still needs a date. Okay, and then the last release date related one for you here is Marvel's Cosmic Invasion. This game looks so freaking good. I'm so excited to jump in. I am more excited for the Scott Pilgrim game that they're doing after this, or I guess at the same time, but it's coming out after. But I'm really excited for this game as well. We've seen this quite a few times. They just announced a couple new characters a few weeks back. I believe it was at the Comic-Con like 3 weeks ago, 2.5 weeks ago. So it's been around. It's been talked about. We've seen a lot of gameplay. I think this was also at Summer. Yeah, you know what? This definitely, I think, was at Summer Game Fest. This just feels like a double dip type situation. You know, you just showed it. It's had this summer of like lead up and like new stuff, and again, new characters and whatnot. All you need now is a date. And I feel like it's going to be this game. I really honestly believe could be like the last game that I personally play that's new in 2025. Like, I think this game might release like the first week of December and kind of mark the end of the year. That's kind of my prediction. But it's, again, another game that needs a date. Okay, let's go through 3 things that aren't release date specific. So the first one is something Lego. I don't want to tie myself specifically to the Batman thing, but I will tell you, again, I'm going to do a predictions video probably tomorrow, but I am going to predict and I am going to double down on what we've heard and what I kind of believe just myself. I think it's going to be a Lego Batman thing. We'll see. We'll see what it ends up being, but I think it's a rather safe thing to say that it's going, well, obviously, Traveler's Tales Games, right? They're making a Lego game. Now, I guess the biggest question is, will they specifically be there? Again, I mean, we've made videos over the past couple weeks, like WB is going. They do have a game. I believe it's like an action type, a little description they've gone over before. I did a video on that a few weeks back. I think WB is going to show something, some new game. I feel like it's going to be a Lego game, and it's going to be from TT Games, and it's just what game is it, what property is it. What I would say here, it's the same thing I actually would say in a live stream I said a few days ago, is that my expectations are limited to those pillars of WB, if you guys remember that, right? So like the Harry Potters of the world, the Batman / DC, right? Game of Thrones, right? So they did that 4 pillars thing. They've said it like twice now over the past couple of years. While I want experimentation and I want them to go like do something nuts, do like TMNT, that would freaking rock, right? Like I mean, you could literally pick any franchise out there. But the issue is my expectations, what I actually think is going to happen is they're limited. They're not, I think, going to do a license. Like, they're not going to do Marvel. They're not, because it's like DC is literally one of their 4 pillars. They're not going to freaking make a Marvel game. I mean, yes, they did in the past, but that's not the way that it is anymore. So I personally believe it's down a DC path. And then, the Batman idea of making it like all the Batman movies, I think that idea rocks. So I would really, really like to see that. So that would be what I would say on that topic. And then Black Myth DLC. So this is something that I haven't really thought a lot about up until like maybe a day or two, or even like right now, I would say. I mean, I've seen like other people mention it where, it's about a year old. I think it was August 20th, somewhere around that range. Like, it turns a year old right around Gamescom. I don't actually know if it's even going or if they're going. I think that just might be like hope. And I thought, because I've seen other people kind of talk about it, and I thought, let's add it to the video. I'm a real big fan of this game. I also think this game kind of rocks. I got stuck on this multiple times, and I'm pretty close to beating it, but I did actually not beat it all the way through. But I do love this game, and if you give me more in any way, whether it's paid DLC, free DLC, whatever, I will take it. If you recall, there were a lot of rumors back like late last year that this game was going to get DLC, and there was going to be an announcement. It was more like they would do it at the Game Awards, which obviously passed like 9 months ago, but we have heard it before. It's just if it actually exists or not. But I like the idea, so I'm going to steal the idea and say, I would hope that they could give us something more with Black Myth. Okay, and the last one, I'm going to kind of cop out on this one and leave it very ambiguous. One big thing, or one last thing. I don't really care what it is, and that's kind of why I wanted to do it this way. I guess what I'm trying to say with this one is, don't let Lego Batman or a Lego game be the one big announcement. And it might. Gamescom, it has range, it has potential. We might get 3 big things. We might get 1. We might get 2. So again, all I'm kind of asking for here is, hey, if you want your dream of Marvel's Wolverine, or you want Kingdom Hearts 4, or you want Final Fantasy 7 Part 3, or you want Fable, I'm just trying to think of like the big ones that I've heard people kind of mention. I don't really care which one, because here's the deal. Gamescom largely is an update show. It is. That's why so many release dates. That kind of is what Gamescom is, right? It's a lot of games that are coming out in the fall and early next year. That's why you get Silent Hill F. That's why you get Resident Evil, right? That's got the date, but it's next year. That's the type of show Gamescom is. So a brand new announcement game of Lego Batman is a brand new thing. Give me one more, whatever it might. It could be a brand new game. It could be an update to a game that you don't see coming, like Wolf Among Us. Wolf Among Us 2. That would qualify, under this. Give me one. I'll take one, and then Lego Batman or a Lego game in general, and I'd be pretty thrilled. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure, as always, you're subscribed to the channel, bell icon turned on, and I hope to see you all on the next one.